Thank you for coming. My name is Noah Halpern. I'm a staff attorney with CAIR-Chicago. We're here today to talk about yet another American citizen, a Chicagoland resident, Khamis Ayyad, whose life was tragically cut short during an attack by Israeli settlers in the West Bank yesterday. Speaking today are William Assafor from CAIR-Chicago, Illinois State Representative Abdel Nasser Rashid, Khamis's brother Laith Ayyad, and his cousin Mahmoud Isa. We'll start with a statement from William Assafor of CAIR-Chicago.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is William Asfour, W-I-L-L-I-A-M, Asfour, A-S-F-O-U-R. I'm the operations coordinator here at CAIR-Chicago. So Khamis Ayyad was an American father of 5, killed while trying to put out fires set by Israeli settlers. He died from smoke and tear gas. This is murder. We demand a full investigation from the Department of Justice. An American citizen was killed. Where's the accountability? This isn't an isolated tragedy. It's part of a violent, escalating pattern of settler attacks and military protection funded by US tax dollars. Another American was killed on the West Bank just weeks ago. How many more before the US takes action to protect its citizens abroad? Settlers burn homes, soldiers back them up, and our government sends billions to fund all of this. Khamis rushed to save lives. He was met with settler terror and Israeli army gas. While Gaza is being starved, the West Bank burns, with far-right Israeli ministers encouraging impunity. Arolda Heffelin, featured in the Oscar-winning film No Other Land, was killed by a settler this week, and the settler was placed under house arrest, not jail. So at least 159 Palestinians were killed on the West Bank this year alone, not to mention the genocide happening in Gaza and the forced starvation that's killing women and children and elderly and men. This is state-backed violence. We call on the White House, Congress, and Illinois leaders to condemn the murder of Khamis Ayyad and stop funding apartheid. Khamis wasn't just a name. He was a beloved father, neighbor, and American. He deserves justice. So right now I'm going to ask Khamis's brother, Laith, to show up to the podium. Thank you.
My brother, everybody loved him. And I stayed with him 26 years. Thank you. Sorry.
Khamis Ayyad was a beloved father of 5 children that he left behind. A great husband, a great cousin, always there for everybody and anyone. He is an American citizen, killed by terrorists, settlers, in the occupied West Bank. Khamis is an Khamis works for an American company and is a taxpayer in the United States. Went back home to take his kids to school to learn Arabic, to improve in the language and religion. But unfortunately, that went the wrong way. Thursday, July 31st, 2 a.m. He was sleeping in his house. To come out to look outside his windows and find settlers, illegal Israeli settlers, putting cars and houses on fire. No retaliation from the Palestinian people, except to come out and try to put the fire out. Then followed by Israeli occupation, the army, coming out and throwing tear gas to put people away and stop them from putting the fire out in their land, in their home, in their properties. One of the houses, the car got on fire and it hit the house because it was parked next to the building, and the fire reached all the way up to the 3rd floor. There was 13 people in that house. Had they not, the Palestinians, put the fire out in that car, 13 people, plus Khamis, could have been killed. The aggression continues in the West Bank, where there is no problems, there's no hatred, no problems, no fighting in the West Bank. But the Israelis and the settlers, supported by the right wing, the Zionists, continue to shoot, kill, and bomb houses. What's going on in Gaza, where hundreds of thousands have been killed, millions have been displaced, and the world is sleeping. The world is quiet. America is supporting this genocide. Taxpaying money, the American taxpayers, our money is going to support genocide instead of the United States of America. Shame. This needs to stop. Enough is enough.
I'm going to ask Illinois State Representative Abdel Nasser Rashid to say a few words.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is State Representative Abdel Nasser Rashid. I represent the 21st District in Illinois. There's deep anger after their brother, their cousin, was murdered in cold blood by Israeli settlers yesterday, and we're seeing this family demonstrate the emotional anger in response to the death of their beloved brother and cousin and family member. We're here today because Khamis Ayyad, a father of 5 from right here in the Chicagoland area, was murdered in the occupied West Bank. He died while trying to put out fires set by Israeli settlers. He was killed by the smoke and reportedly the tear gas fired by the Israeli military. This wasn't random. This is part of an ugly pattern of settler colonial violence and a history of settler colonial violence, from the settler terrorism in the West Bank to the genocide that's ongoing in Gaza and the forced starvation, where we're seeing these heart-wrenching photos and videos of young children, men and women, mothers and fathers, dying of starvation. Enabled by the US providing military funding to Israel and political support. I've seen this violence firsthand. I was in Palestine in June of 2023, visiting my village, my family's village, when settlers, just like the settlers who raided and invaded Khamis's family's village, when these Israeli settlers invaded Khamis Ayyad in broad daylight and torched an entire neighborhood and killed a young man, 2023. There was no accountability. There was no justice. And that lack of accountability has led to continued Israeli terrorism against Palestinians fighting for survival and fighting for liberation. I want to acknowledge Khamis's family who are with us today. Your pain is real, and we will do everything in our power to fight for accountability for Khamis's murder. There is never an acceptable reason to target civilians, to fight, to attack innocent people, as Khamis was attacked by Israel, by the Israeli settlers and the Israeli military. We need action. Here in Illinois, we have a law that punishes companies that choose to do the right thing by boycotting Israel. This shameful state law helps shield Israel's violence and brutality from consequences. I'm calling on Governor Pritzker, President Harmon, and Speaker Welch to join me in repealing this law. Let's end Illinois' complicity and end this shameful chapter of Illinois history. We have a responsibility to act. Thank you.
We'll have the family stick around for a little bit for any individual questions or interviews. But we just want to finish by saying, here at CAIR-Chicago, we demand that the Department of Justice investigates this killing of a U.S. citizen abroad. We want all of our citizens to be safe, and we're tired of seeing our people being killed with impunity. So we're asking our government, our elected officials, Department of Justice, to step up and do its job to protect American citizens here and abroad. Thank you so much. If anyone has questions or anything, we can.
Why don't you talk to the cousin?
Yes.
Can you say his first and last name for us, please?
Mahmoud Isa.
And spell it for us, please.
Mahmoud.
And before I ask about, who your cousin was, just to preface, what Chicago suburb did he live in? And then talk about his ventures to Palestine. When did he leave? How long was he there?
Cicero Town.
I'm sorry?
Cicero Town.
He lived in Cicero.
Yeah.
And when did he go to the West Bank, and how long was he there?
5 years ago.
He's been there for 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he works for a company, for a trucking company. He's a dispatcher. So he works online, he doesn't need to talk to anybody. He loads trucks and gets drivers. It's an online thing. So yeah, he's been working, he's been filing his taxes and everything.
You guys mentioned he went there to teach his kids Arabic and the culture, right? Were they there at the time of this?
Yes, their children, his children are there at the moment.
Walk us through that process of having to talk to children about the final moments of their own father.
I'm assuming you're talking about after the situation when he passed away.
Yes.
That's more of an immediate family there. But I mean, obviously all these kids that were 19 years old and 10 years old, 30 years ago are now 50 years old. And the kids continue to live in this Israeli settlement in occupied land. It's sad to say they got used to this checkpoints and undressing them to check them for nothing. And walking the streets and seeing their Jeeps going in, they're used to pulling you to the side and getting everybody out, embarrassing them. They see that when their dad and the mom is driving, the kids are in the car. The Israelis do a good job of torturing parents in front of kids. So it's in there. It's hard. It's not easy. Definitely not hard seeing guns, AK-47 and guns pointed towards you to do something. Lift your hands up, put your hands down, take your shirt off, take your pants off.
Was your cousin ever fearful?
It definitely is fearful, man. And his family's there, his brothers, other brothers and siblings and sisters there, his whole family's there. I mean, we have a family here and he's got family there. Once he got, an opportunity to go back and take his kids back to go to school, and he found this opportunity to work from remote, and it was a great opportunity for him to go back home and live in, his back home.
Did he do some type of activism there? I saw other reports. They labeled him a martyr too. Did he do activism there? And if so, can you talk about his work there within the last 5 years?
So, as Palestinian, when someone is murdered because the cause of Israelis or in their land, those are murders. I mean, he was sleeping. He came out to turn the fire off on these cars, and then the settlers ran away, and then the military came in and finished him off, I guess, with the tear gas. God knows what they're using in that product.
In the wake of his murder, you have state representatives, the family coming together here. What would be some words that you wish you can say to your cousin right now as you guys support his family and support his legacy?
We say, may he rest in peace, and we will have his back, we will have his family's back, we will have our country's people back until we all die.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
When's the last time you spoke with him?
About a year. I mean, overseas sometimes we go months, We check on each other on birthdays, holidays, stuff like that. We're busy, you know. It's a big family. I have a family of 600 people.
You must have moved there before October 7th, correct?
He's been there for about 4 or 5 years, correct?
I guess in recent months, were there any conversations with the family thinking about the situation over there, having to leave perhaps because of escalating?
There's always video FaceTimes and stuff when settlers come in and, you know, but no, that's his home, and that's his land, and he wanted to be with his family there. His parents are there.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We want to conclude this press conference. Thank everyone for being here. We want to thank the family for showing up. And if you have any questions, they'll be sticking around for a little bit. Thank you so much.